Hey there, my name's Magier, and thanks for checking out my year in review. This year was really exciting for me because it was my first full year in honors. It was the first time that I had an opportunity to create experiences, complete experiences, and really develop into my own as a UC honors student. The first big project I had for honors was started back in spring 2013, and this project was the Jewish Greek Council. Now, when I arrived on campus back in fall 2012 as a freshman, I joined a fraternity. I'm currently a member of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity. However, one thing that's lacking is that I'm a Jewish student and this is not a Jewish organization. So, looking to increase my Jewish life in the city of Cincinnati, I chose to, with two other students, start an organization called the Jewish Greek Council. And what this organization is aimed to do is to draw Jewish members of the Greek community closer together. By starting this experience before I was accepted into honors, I was able to retroactively start the experience through honors and continue it all throughout my sophomore year of school. I just recently completed all the necessary work for the Jewish Greek Council and finished that up in April of 2013, right at the end of spring semester. We are still in the process of waiting for our group to be officially approved and recognized as a campus organization. Fall 2013 was an important semester for me within the honors program. First of all, I was taking my Gateway to Honors class, which was my introduction to everything there is to know about the honors program. Meeting required deadlines, learning how to submit proposals, fill out your own proposals, work on pre-approved experiences, everything that I needed to know. Additionally, one of the things that I really wanted to do was join the biomedical research mentoring program, and this process started in the fall semester. I was very lucky, and through the Biomedical Research Mentoring Program, I was paired in Dr. Craig Erickson's lab with my mentor being Dr. Tori Schaefer. This lab is a translational mouse research lab studying autism spectrum disorders. Now, the two that we're focusing on are Angelman syndrome and Fragile X syndrome, and basically our ideas are that through drug treatment and remedies, their behavioral symptoms in these mice will improve for both of these disorders, and through these various tests that we can run them through, we'll be able to determine if this drug is in fact working and targeting the areas of the brain that we need it to target to effectively work, hopefully in humans as well. Never having ever worked in a lab before, this experience was huge for me. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I was very curious to learn as much as I could in the short period of time that was just January to April that I was in the lab, with the hopes of continuing on for the summer. And so I started off working with Tori, and we really just did a little bit of bench work in the lab for the first 2 weeks, not too much work in the mouse lab, but once the middle of January sort of picked up, it was almost every single time that I was in there, I was helping out in one way or another up in the mouse room. Now, when most people think of research, they're usually looking at some sort of bench work or clinical aspect, but this for me was really unique because this was a whole different field that I had never even heard of before. This behavioral lab research basically allowed us to run these mice through behavior tests, and I'm going to explain a couple of them as we continue. This first test is the mouse Morse water maze, and this was probably the most frequent test that I ran in the lab. Basically, you place the mouse in a pool, and they have to find a platform that is hidden 1 centimeter below the water. This next test is the rotorod, and here you can see a close-up image of it, and this is where you place the mouse on a rotating wheel and see how long it takes for them to fall off. This third test is the startle response system. It tests their ability to sense a startle response and act upon it. And this last test is the elevated zero maze, a maze that is slightly hidden on one side and open on the other, so we can test mouse anxiety levels through this test. So working in this lab was extremely beneficial for me. I'm at school studying on the pre-medical track with the hopes of becoming a physician, and going into this research project, it was definitely an eye-opening opportunity for me to determine whether research was going to be something that I wanted to pursue, or whether I was going to stick to being a physician, or whether it was going to be a little bit of both. What I think I've decided and learned from this experience is that while I did enjoy research and enjoy doing everything like that, I really missed the people interaction. I love working with people, and the clinical aspect of the research is not one that I get to partake in. So basically what I think will work is if I get involved in some sort of clinical research, whether it's through this same research lab or another one. I think that kind of research will be more geared towards me and something that I can see myself doing more of in the future. Children's Hospital is an incredible medical facility. Some of the world's top physicians are located there, as well as groundbreaking research happening daily in just about anything that you can imagine within the medical field. But the reason that I've been particularly grateful for Children's Hospital this year is because it's not only allowed me the fabulous research opportunity that I just previously was talking about, it also allowed me to get my first shadowing opportunity of a physician. Dr. Brad Marino was the physician that I was able to shadow during the later parts of March and all throughout April. I'm grateful to Dr. Marino for becoming a mentor for me, as well as the first doctor that allowed me to actually shadow him, which was huge for not only my education, but really my solidification and wanting to become a physician. I've known since I was about 7 years old that I wanted to become some sort of doctor. I never really knew what. I still don't really know. I'm not 100% sure. But through shadowing Dr. Marino, I learned that I really would enjoy the life of a physician. Dr. Marino is a cardiology intensivist, which means he works in the cardiology ICU part of the hospital, and he was an incredible mentor for me throughout the later part of the spring semester. Really motivated me to keep my academics up, to keep pushing through the difficult times, showed me how important finals were, and how every little bit of knowledge that we really do learn in undergrad will translate into what we need for medical school, and even for the future profession that I hope to hold as a physician. So Dr. Marino really opened my eyes to a lot of different aspects of medicine that I really never knew existed, and it was an opportunity that I will be forever grateful for and cannot thank him enough for it. The final honors experience that I was able to complete this year is called the Accelerated Leadership Development Program, and that is run through ROAR Guides. ROAR Guides are the Office of Admissions-led student group that gives tours to potential incoming freshmen at UC. Now, Accelerated Leadership Development Program, or ALDP for short as we like to call it, is really aimed at a fast-track leadership route in order to prepare you for an executive position in ROAR. Now, I was very into ALDP. I loved learning about everything that we talked about, interacting with my fellow tour guides, and learning about their past leadership experiences and what they hoped to do within the organization. Before I started ALDP, I had in the back of my mind that I definitely wanted to run for an executive position. And through working with members of ALDP as well as members throughout ROAR Guides as an organization, I actually decided to run for president in March. And due to my experience in ALDP as well as my experience in smaller leadership positions within the organization before, I was fortunate enough to be elected by my peers as ROAR Guides president. I'm extremely excited and very happy to be in this leadership position. I'm honored to serve UC in any way possible, and this I feel like is a huge growing opportunity for me, and I can't wait to learn and succeed and grow as a leader through this new role. Thanks for watching. Please check out my honors portfolio to learn more about my experiences at the University of Cincinnati. Go Bearcats!